Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are very well. In this video, I'll be discussing Class 10th English First Flight book, Unit 3, Prose 3, Two Stories About Flying. In this unit, we have two parts. First part is his first flight, and second part is the black aeroplane. In this video, I'll be starting part 1, his first flight. His here refers to the young seagull. Yes, this story is about a young seagull who learns to fly. This is about young seagull's first flight. This story has been written by Liam O. Flaherty. He was born on 28th August 1896 and died on 7 September 1984. He was an Irish novelist and short story writer. Now let's talk about the story. His first flight. His first flight means young seagull's first flight. This young seagull is like a human baby. Why human baby? Because this young seagull has fear. Fear of what? Fear of falling. Fear of getting hurt. This baby tries to convince his mother to bring food to him. And then how mother makes the baby fly. What efforts are done by the mother to make her baby fly. This is the first part of the story, two stories about flying, right? So let's discuss the text. Let's start reading the text. Page 32. Let's start with the text. The young seagull was alone on his sledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of the sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away. He failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening him to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. Let's note down the meanings of the difficult words. Ledge. Ledge, a narrow horizontal cliff. Please note down. brink. Brink is corner. Then flap. Flap is to move wings. Expense. Expense, expansion. Expansion विस्तार, कितना ज़्यादा spread है. Stretched. Stretched, spread. Beneath. Beneath, below, under. Certain. Certain is fixed. Now I start explaining the text. The young seagull was all alone on his ledge, on his small cliff, because his two brothers and sister had already flown away day before. And he was very much afraid of flying. He thought if he tried to fly, he might fall down. When he tried to take a flight, he ran forward to the brink, to the corner, then flapped his wings. He tried to fly, but when he reached the corner and flapped his wings, he got scared. He was afraid. Why he was afraid? Because when he see downward, when he saw beneath, he saw the expanse of the sea. It was completely stretched. Where, when he tried to take a flight, he saw the sea. It was spread all around. So he got scared. He, young seagull. Young seagull got very much scared because the sea was spread miles and miles away. He felt that his wings would not support him. He thought if he tried to take flight, his wings would not support him. And then he bent his head. That means he did not have courage to fly. So he bent his head and hit himself in a little corner of his ledge. He hit himself in the corner of his ledge. So he could not get courage to take flight. His younger brothers and sister, whose wings were very short, whose wings were shorter than his wings, they ran to the brink and flapped their wings and flew away. Right? The younger seagulls had taken their flight, but this elder seagull, four young seagulls were there. Out of these four, two were brothers of this young seagull and one was sister. So these three had taken their flight, though their wings were shorter than this seagull, this young seagull. Even then, they took their first flight, they took their flight and then they just flew away. And he did not, he could not gather courage. Muster up is gather. He could not gather courage to take flight. He was very much afraid. Plunge to jump. He could not get courage to jump and take flight. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. His mother and father threatened him that they would not provide him food. He would have to starve there on his ledge only. Even then, he could not get courage to take his flight. I hope this first paragraph is clear to you. In this paragraph, I have told you that young seagull, whose two younger brother and one sister who have shorter wings than this young seagulls, have taken their flight, but this young seagull did not have courage to take flight because he thought that if he tried to take his flight, his wings might not support him. So he could not gather the courage to jump and to fly, and he hid himself under his ledge. Right? Now, let's read page number 33. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it, standing on a rock while his parents circled around him, raising a proud cackle, and all morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Let's note down the meanings. Yes. Perfecting. Perfecting is making perfect. Skim. Skim is moving on the surface of the water. Moving on the surface of the water. Herring. 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 It's a kind of fish. Yes. Devour. Devour is eat quickly. Eat something very quickly. Now let's start the explanation of this paragraph, second paragraph. And for the past 24 hours, nobody had come to him. In the past 24 hours, this young seagull was watching his parents and his brothers and sister, that how his parents were perfecting his brothers and sisters, perfecting them to fly. They were perfecting their young ones how to skim the waves, how to move onto the surface of the water, and how to dive for the fish. For the past 24 hours, nobody had come closer to him. He was only and only looking his parents, that how they were perfecting the three young seagulls in their flight, and how to skim the waves and how to dive for the fish. Even he had seen his older brother catching his first fish, and he saw how his his older brother was eating his fish. He saw all this, and his parents circled and made a loud cackled sound. They were making noise while the young seagull caught his first prey. So they were very happy and they were making some happy sounds. They made a circle around the young seagull and they were cackling. Cackling is unpleasant noise, their noise, right? Please note down the meanings of the words. These meanings are to be written in your notebook too. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. And for the whole, and since morning, the whole family members just walked midway down the opposite cliff and taunt taunted him. Why taunted him? For not trying his first flight. They all were flying there on the opposite cliff and they were taunting him because the young seagull was not taking his flight. Right? I hope this is clear to you. Let's move on to the next paragraph. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing. He closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Now let's note down the word meanings and I'll explain the lines. Meanings: cowardice. Cowardice is lack of courage. Then ascending. Ascending is rising higher. Blazing. Blazing is burning. Burning, yes. Hidden. Hidden is that is not seen. That is not seen. Pretended. Pretended is acted. Acted. Asleep, sleeping. Right? So let's discuss. So the sun was on his ledge. It was blazing. It was burning. And it was blazing on his ledge that faced southwards. And now, for the past 24 hours, this young seagull had not taken anything, had not eaten anything. So his stomach was burning. That means he was feeling appetite. But he pretended as if he was sleeping. He tried to show that he was sleeping. He stepped slowly out to the brink. He came out of the brink. He came at the corner of the ledge and then he stood on one leg, the other leg hidden, and then pretended as if he was sleeping. I hope these two pages, page number 32 and 33, both are clear to you. For today, for this video, it is enough. I hope you all understood it. Please note down the meanings and please do read the taught topic. We'll meet in our next video. Till then, bye-bye.